Yeah. Welcome here to Dover, the Monster Mile, back at it, round number 5 here for round number 5, the ARCA East Series here with 4Wide Motorsports. My name is Scott Shive. I'm joined alongside by Emmett Crow, and we've got Tracy Brown here in production. Emmett, we just crossed over the halfway point just last week, and what a thriller that we got to see from Richmond.
Yeah, definitely a thriller for sure. The first part of it was kind of slow, but yeah, it really picked up on the action. It really turned out to be a great race.
It really did, and we had a great race 2 weeks ago. Came down to the wire, and we saw Hunter Carlson get his second win of the season, the first driver to get 2 wins this season. So we'll look at our grid here for this evening. Joseph Unukis gets the pole. He had a great week last week, qualified on the outside of the front row last week, but did not get that finish after some incident. Austin Cansdale in the 33 will line up in second. Row number 2, Chris Golden, the guy from Berlin, and you'll have to check me on this. I know he raced in Berlin. You'll have to tell us how he did in just a moment, Emmett. Then we got Hunter Carlson, your winner from last week, on his outside. Row number 3 will be the 70 of Gerald Berlin and the 89 of Bradley Young. Devin Morrill in the 31 got a podium for the first time this season last week. He looks to improve upon that here this evening. The 8 of Benjamin Hallbaugh will start in the 8th position. Wayne Cannon and Kyle Dumas will start in row number 5, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, then we got Yogi Schleer lined up next to looks like Daniel Jones back in there. So that rounds out the field. I couldn't really tell. Does that round out the field? Chris Norris also.
Chris Norris is here. If he's gridded yet, we'll see if he's gridded, and see if Joshua Tressler will join us as well. Those two drivers in the inside row, 11th and 13th. So 14 cars here this evening. I'm really interested to see what Unukis can do, but I also want to hear, I bet you know this, and how did Chris Golden do this weekend in the ARCA Series at Berlin?
So Chris Golden, he qualified pretty decent, got 18th, and then ran actually, I believe, 18th all day and ended up finishing 18th, so a top 20 finish. Got a little TV time towards the end, made a little spin, and showed his picture up there, so that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, shout out to our good buddy Mr. Chris Golden for his first start of the season in the ARCA Menard Series.
There you go. So he makes that start in real life, and he'll make it here again this evening, for time this season. Chris Golden in that beautiful number. And we'll see, I see the guys, they were sending stuff about it. See, Fluff, I see you were sending some stuff about it here up in the chat, but the pace truck will pull off. Here we go. 100 laps here from the Monster Mile at the concrete surface of Dover. Let's get it going. Green flag in the air for Joseph Unukis, who spins the tires off the restart.
Yeah, spins the tires on the restart, and he's going to drop like an egg. But look at Chris Golden going to take the bottom. Chris Golden was looking good. Scott had the fastest time till Austin Cansdale knocked him off, and then, of course, Joseph Unukis got the pole.
Good, I gotta tell y'all, my screen is lagging a bit. My internet not so great this evening, so I'll keep y'all as updated as I can. Austin Cansdale will take the lead. Chris Golden into second. Hunter Carlson up into third, but Joseph Unukis falls back into fourth. Devin Morrill has already gained 2 positions as well. Battle here side by side in the front.
Yeah, battle going on in the front right now as we look. As here comes Chris Golden trying to get up to the back of Austin Cansdale, trying to make the pass for sure.
Drivers going at it already. Only 100 laps here at the Monster Mile. You know, Dover, it really doesn't seem like one of those places. It has that short track feel, but it is a mile, you know. And I know some people will consider mile tracks a short track, but I don't know. That kind of gets in the middle for me. It gets kind of out there in terms of a short track style. But Dover does race that way, and look at that. Wow, Joseph Unukis hitting the wall there out of turn number 4 on lap number 4 for completed so far here. Austin Cansdale has led them all. Still right behind right on the back of that 33 Cat Machine.
Yeah, as we see right here, Chris Golden trying to make a move, but I want you to know this, Scott. Race control is has issued a penalty to Kyle Dumas. He's going to get an EOL, so Kyle Dumas goes back to the line. I guess so. It just says race control. Kyle Dumas, 15, was given an EOL.
There you go. Whatever it was, you can't be doing that. We'll try to figure out what that was for you, but Kyle Dumas will have to go to the end of the line here off of the start. This top three, Hansdale, Golden, and Carlson, all right here. And Duck is not far out of it. He just had trouble on that start. Chris Golden looks to the inside here for the first time here this evening, and he looks like he's going to try to go for the lead.
Yeah, going to try to go for the lead right here. Look at the move he's making right there, but he's under fire from Hunter Carlson, as Carlson's going to get the position just for the moment, and now he's going to clear him on that high side. Wow.
There we go. Hunter Carlson going to go around Chris Golden. That shows you how much you need to use all of this racetrack. Chris Golden was just going for a move for the lead, and because of that move, because of that loss of momentum, Hunter Carlson was able to capitalize on the high side here. Arguably your best drivers all season here, running 1 and 2. Then it is your 2 rookies running 3 and 4. And these 2 rookies, Chris Golden and Joseph Unukas, has really impressed us, as well as the driver running in 5th, the 31 of Devin Murill, who's paddling with Gerald Berlin.
Yeah, Devin Murill, sorry to get a little excited there, but I thought Devin Murill and Unukas were going to get together right there. But yeah, Devin Murill coming off a top 3 finish last week at Richmond. So, and it was interesting how he was fired up, Scott, after that race, and he said that he was going to come and show these boys what to do. So, be interesting to see what Devin Murill could do later on in this race.
Absolutely right, Devin Murill. We look for him to continue to move forward. We thought he was one of those drivers that might be able to get that win here this season. We've only got 4 races left, that's including this one. But after the conclusion of this race here tonight, as we got a battle up front, man, this battle for the top 5 is excellent.
Yeah, and did you see that? Hunter Carlson hit the wall a ton right there. That checked up the rest of the field. And Chris Golden wasn't able to get around, but as we ride on board with Carlson trying to get to the back bumper of Cansdale, he's trying to get there, Scott, but he just can't make the move, and that damage ain't going to help either.
I'm going to say right now, you are my eyes. I'm working through you. I've got some lag going on, everything going on here. I've got the heavy screen. That is working for me, so I'm able to keep all of the scores up to date. Still need some of the call. Daniel Jones just getting around. Benjamin Hallball back in the back. Hallball down 4 positions here from the start. He's falling back more. He falls back behind Kyle Dumas. We've got a battle for the lead once again, but this time it's between Carlson and Cansdale.
Yeah, Austin Cansdale and Hunter Carlson. How many times have we called that in
a lot.
over the three or four series that we ran? Yeah, look at this. Cansdale's going to able to hold on to that top row and able to hang on to the lead, but Chris Golden is coming, Scott.
Chris Golden on the way right there, just 0.3 of a second back to the 32 of Hunter Carlson. But you said it. How many times have we said these 2 names up front, Cansdale and Carlson fighting? But man, look at this top 5. Look at how close all of them are. Gerald Berlin gets past Devin Murill when they were battling just a little bit earlier when we thought they might get into each other. Gerald Berlin was able to capitalize on that from there. It's a little bit of a gap back to Devin Murill. He is 1 second back from the lead. Into the second back to the 70 of Berlin. But here we go. Unukas trying to get to the inside of Golden. Not quite there.
Yeah, and Jared Berlin was really fired up today, Scott. He was excited. He said he loves Dover, and he was the first one to post in the iRacing chat. It's race day, so you know he's fired up, and it'll be interesting to see if he can put that 70 Little Caesars machine into victory lane.
See if he could put it into victory lane. We've seen one driver go to victory lane twice this season, 2 others go to victory lane once. Could we see another get a first-time win here in the ARCA series, or will we see another winner that we've already seen this season?
Yeah, that is a good question, and can we see? I mean, it could be either one of these top 4. I mean, these top 5, sorry, excuse me, are just, they've broken away from the field and they're in a class of their own.
Well, and here's the thing, I got another big storyline for you as we continue to watch all of these battles unfold. Landon Brown, your points leader after 4 races, not making the start here tonight. I don't know if he said why he wasn't. Here he goes. He said he won't be good tonight. He's in White Lake for a camp week, so he's not going to be able to make it. He's going to hope that everyone is going to put on a great show, and look forward to being back next week at IRP. So your points leader not able to make the start here this evening. So that's going to be the question. Will Hunter Carlson or Austin Cansdale be the one to jump up to that points lead here this evening after we complete the race from the Monster Mile?
Yeah, and the good thing is, I loved how Hunter Carlson got in there and said, hey, you're good. The worst you're going to drop is to 5. So, I mean, it's not going to hurt Landon that bad. You know, he's a great racer. He'll come back fired up at IRP, and he'll be right back up there battling for this championship. Benjamin Hollenball, Pit Road.
Agree with you. There we go. The 8 car will pull it into the pit lane. He's lost some time. Oh goodness. Problems for the 8.
Man. Oh, Kyle Dumas is going to go a lap down, but man, that was a tough. That was scary right there.
Scary moment. Kyle Dumas getting lapped by Hunter Carlson and Austin Cansdale. And through that, Carlson has taken the lead over Austin Cansdale. He's up by just under 2/10 of a second. But you see all that trouble getting through those lap cars has really broken up our top 5. And Gerald Berlin has moved up into second over Unuckus and Chris Golden. But he's 2 seconds back from Cansdale.
Yeah, 2 seconds back from Cansdale. But Berlin is really doing good, though. I mean, holding on to that top 3, 3rd position. Well, yeah, 3rd position. Sorry, 4th. Doing great, but look at this. Unuckus going to get under him. Wow.
Unuckus trying to prove, hey, you know, this happened last time. He qualified in second back in Richmond. He got a poor start. He fell back all the way to the ninth. But slowly throughout the night, he got back up into the top 3. And he would have, I believe he would have finished there if not getting involved in an incident not of his own doing. But here this evening, same deal. Started up on the pole, fell back all the way to 5th. And now he's trying to crawl back up into that top 3. He's in that top 3 now, but he's got a big gap between him and the 33 of Cansdale that he has got to make up. He's already brought it down by 4/10 of a second, but again, he has got a lot of work to do. We're 1/4 of the way through this race, on to lap number 26 of 100. It's been Hunter Carlson taking the lead away from Cansdale.
Oh, Bradley Young.
Go. Oh, spinner.
Man.
No caution. Oh, big hit for the 89. I think that's what you saw. Might have been lagging on my screen, but it was, in fact, a really big hit. Will stay green as of this moment. You can see that replay, what happened of Bradley Young. He is stopped on the front straightaway right now. See if he can get that car into the pits before we get an iRacing caution.
Yeah, and what I saw, Scott, was I was just cycling through drivers, and then all of a sudden I see Bradley Young just slow.
Bradley Young slow has an issue of his own. Oh, what you seeing, Fluff?
Oh man, they are not liking Kyle Dumas. They are not liking Kyle Dumas. Joshua Tressler just came on and said, if that's how you're going to race the lap down, then we'll take note. And Bradley Young said, yep, he just did the same thing to me.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Kyle
man.
Dumas, a driver that we know we've known he's normally not one of the most aggressive drivers. I mean, he is a good driver at that. We've seen him compete for wins, and we've seen him race fairly well. But whatever it is happening here tonight is him going a lap down. Maybe Dover's just not the place that he is loving, and obviously other drivers not loving him at Dover.
Yeah, not loving him at Dover at all. And man, you know, Joshua Tressler, you know, we usually don't hear nothing from, but I mean, Tressler came on there and he said, all right, if that's how you're going to do it, I'll take notes. So
it's true. Tressler is normally pretty quiet on the radio. Bradley Young as well. We normally don't have too many drivers up over the radio getting too upset at many things. But yeah, I guess Kyle Dumas, something went on, something happened. I'm not sure what it was between all of them, but Kyle Dumas is now 4 laps down, and I believe he is out of the session.
Yeah, Dumas. I just looked and he just pulled it on pit road, Scott. So yeah, it looks like he might be
Bradley
done.
Young.
Yeah.
Bradley Young now is looking like he's back. So
Bradley
he's not
Young
left the session.
Yeah, Bradley Young is still in it, but yeah, it looks like Dumas. We haven't got word yet. It hasn't came in yet, but Dumas looks to be done for the night. Nope, he's back on the track,
Dumas
Scott.
gets an EOL early. There we go. So we'll see how this will go. Maybe just had to fix. Maybe he had some internet problems. Who knows? Not sure what's going on with the 15 of Dumas, but he'll get back on the track, get back in the hunt. All the while, Hunter Carlson still leads just over half a second ahead of the 33 Cansdale. Nuckus trying to run down Cansdale. He's right there on the back door.
Yeah, right there on the back door. And he was right up next to him, Scott. Let's look right here. Now he's dropped back a little bit further. And all this going on, Hunter Carlson is pulled out to a 0.8 of a second, 0.8 lead as we see Unuckus hitting pit road this time.
Nuckus comes into the pit lane. This is a scheduled stop. We learned last week that they have 3 sets of tires each and every week available to them in the pits. Hunter Carlson taught us that valuable lesson last week, but Unuckus pulls off from 3rd spot in that number 14 car into the pit lane. Gotta wonder, let's look at the fall off here. It's about a second. Best lap from your leader of Carlson was a 23.48. His last lap was a 24.53. So that's about over a second of fall off in just over 35 laps.
Yeah, Chris Golden's coming in this time. Just came over the radio, so the 86 will be making their stop right now.
Chris Golden will pit now from 3rd. He got that because Unuckus had pitted from 3rd. So he was originally running in 4th position. Gerald Berlin was running in 5th. Now he is in 4th because of Unuckus bringing it into the lane. So all drivers scheduled and unscheduled pit stops here this evening. The top 7 have yet to come to the lane. Everyone 8 on back has come in either for scheduled service or unscheduled service. And I've got to wonder when these leaders will come. Will Austin show in first, try to jump these other drivers, or will Carlson pull it in first and try to negate the catch-up lap, the undercut, as some might call, that Cansdale might be able to pull. Let's see, we'll look along with Cansdale here, just over half a second back, just barely. That's been the gap for about the past 10 laps. Yeah,
and Cansdale, remember last week at Richmond, he was able to jump. No, Carlson jumped Cansdale. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. It's been a week. But yeah, that really played a factor. Last week was on pit road, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like you said, if Cansdale's going to try to jump him or if he's just going to follow suit.
When will they pit? I imagine some drivers like Unuckus trying to go.
Hunter Carlson pitting.
Sets of tires as we see another driver. There we go. Leader of Carlson coming into the lane this time. So it looks like everyone is going to go for the 2 pit stop strategy, at least as of this moment. I'd imagine if your leader's doing it, most other drivers will probably follow suit.
Yeah, and I hated to cut you off, Scott, but right when you were right when you started, that's when Carlson came over the radio.
I I can't see a thing.
Carlson came
Where
over the
my
radio,
eyes in the
very
sky, my man,
frantic.
and there we go. Cansdale looks sideways. Missed the lane.
See, he's on pit. I've got him on
So
pit
Austin,
road, so.
well, whatever I was seeing, he missed the lane. He's on the lane now, but it looks like he overcooked the entry and got way sideways trying to get down off of the apron. If we can possibly get a replay to maybe see that one and what happened with the 33. So he is going to get into the pits.
Wow.
All even. Yep. That's what I thought. I thought I saw a blink of it. I saw him sideways past the entry, and I'm like, he's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, it just came in way too hot.
He'll get. So lost about 3 seconds to Hunter Carlson because of that mistake. And look at this. Yeah. Look at this. Because of all of it, how Unukis did it. Unukis is leading over Hunter Carlson by 4 seconds.
Man.
That shows you how great of a pit stop that they got on that number 14 car. Joseph Unukis did everything right. But here's the thing. Pit stops are not complete. We'll have another round of pit stops, I'd say probably in the next 30 laps.
Yeah, Unukis driving that, what is that, that monster, is that the blueberry juice? I can't tell.
Whatever the juice, blueberry, strawberry, appleberry, I don't know, any sort of berries, raspberries, it's probably blue of some sort, but it's running well. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's the special monster scheme they do. It's the Aussie lemonade. I wonder that drink is really good. I've had that before. It has been good. Some sort of monster juice, and whatever he's got cooking under the hood is working. Whatever's fueling it, working for Unukis. Out by it's now the gap is closing a little bit. It's 5 seconds now. So Carlson might be just a bit faster than the 14 car, but he's got a good ways to make up. Closest battle on the racetrack is between the 8 and the 20. Benjamin Hallbaugh, Joshua Tressler, 0.3 of a second between them two. It looks like that gap is closing quickly. Joshua Tressler going to get around the 8.
Yeah, it is closing quickly, but it's. I mean, another thing, Scott, Austin Cansdale's ran the fastest lap of the race at a 23:32. But yeah, wow, it's shrinking dramatically.
Gap's shrinking dramatically. Last lap by for Unukis was a 23.4. It was a 23.3 for Carlson and Cansdale. Got to wonder if Carlson, Cansdale maybe pushing a little and Unukis trying to save a tiny bit, but I think it's too early for us to tell. Let's go through the running order. Unukis, Carlson, Cansdale the top 3, then Berlin, Golden the top 5. Dogie Schleer, Morrill, Cannon, Tressler, and Hollenbaugh the top 10. Daniel Jones is 1 lap down, Bradley Young 2 laps down, Kyle Dumas 3 laps down. Chris Norris did not make the start here this evening. It is your 13 car field as they run 10 cars on the lead lap. We've been looking most at those up front, but it looks like Chris Golden trying to move up from the 4th spot to the 5th. He's 0.3 of a second behind Berlin.
Yeah, trying to move up from
Berlin gonna get the wall.
Yeah, trying to move up to the 4th spot, and that's going to allow Chris Golden to get some momentum, but Kyle Dumas needs to keep up on that high line.
He's moving out of the way.
Yeah.
He's getting way out of the way of these leaders, making sure nothing goes wrong this time.
He's blinking.
Well, you know, that might have been part of the problem, and it might have been what some drivers were mad at. Maybe they didn't understand if he had some problems with him. I'm not sure if they knew. But Chris Golden here still trying to hunt down Berlin. Last time by, it looked like Golden was a little bit slower, almost a 1/10 of a second slower than Berlin. So the gap still remains between them, just under half a second. Now it's growing a little bit more, about 0.8 of a second now. So Chris Golden missed a big time out of 4.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why. Oh, hard hit for Wayne Cannon. Man. But I was going to say, I'm wondering why. And now I see why it focused on Daniel Jones. And then, because I got it on most exciting, but then all of a sudden it showed Wayne Cannon hitting the wall a ton. So hard hit for him. But yeah, it's crazy. There's no cautions. But yeah, Scott, that lead has been shrunken down to a 1.6 second lead.
Well, and like, keep looking at it, and it's 2 1s for Unuckus, 23-8 for Carlson. So Carlson is almost 0.4 of a second faster.
Yeah, he's definitely faster, and I mean, it's wow. It's crazy how much faster he is than him, but that could be that's definitely the fresher tires for sure.
Well, it definitely is, and that's the thing. Unuckus put in a significant portion of laps before them. I think it was over 5 laps before them. We saw on that 35-lap run for him, fall off was just over a second. Right now, we've seen that some of their best laps still being run this past stint. They've already fallen off by about almost half a second this run.
Yeah, as we approach 44 laps to go, you know, I mean, we're past halfway, so it's really going to be interesting to see how that strategy plays out. Are we going to get a caution? Are we not? Is it going to be under green flag again? And who's willing to gamble to make a move to win this race?
Well, I hope we don't get a caution, because this is excellent racing, watching along from the bumper of Chris Golden. Right, he's gotten back to the 70 win, but he did that earlier. Was not able to make the pass. He fell back, had a mistake into 3 out of 4, but he has gained that time back. It shows you that he might continually be faster than Berlin, but we know about Berlin. He is not going to let a position go with any ease at all. He is going to defend the 86 like his life depends on it.
Yeah, definitely going to defend it, and that's the thing about Jared Berlin. He's a great defensive driver. But yeah, we're looking at this, Scott, as we come to 41 laps to go this lap. It's going to be interesting to see. Oh man, Joshua Tressler held up Unuckus. That's going to help Carlson catch up to him big time.
Well, and we look at it, Battlefield lead continuing to shrink, now just under. Now they're side by side. They are right together here between each other, and Carlson will go to the lead. He'll jump under the team of Unuckus. Side by side, door to door, and they're still side by side, bumping and banging down the back straightaway, trying to keep the car straight down into 3. And there we go. Carlson will get it on the bottom side from Unuckus.
Yeah, Unuckus, he came over to the radio, and I think he just let him by. But yeah, Unuckus, what hurt him was that big hit into the wall after the checkup from Josh. Oh, he hit the wall again.
Unuckus gets the wall again, still right behind Carlson, and the gap less than a car length between them. Unuckus not done fighting just yet. Oh, and Dumas back on the high side. He's going to stay up high.
Yeah, going to stay up high. And yeah, these two, this is going to be interesting right here, especially when it comes down to those pit stops now. Now that Unuckus actually played the strategy right and was able to jump Cansdale to move into the number 2 spot. So great call from Joseph Unuckus to get into that number 2 hole. And now it'll be interesting to see how early he pits on this stint, Scott.
That's right, as we'll see other drivers now coming into the pit lane. I believe that's an early stop. I think that was Joshua Tressler. Not too sure who was in the lane that time. Someone that is off cycle. You can see here that lap cars holding up the 32 of Carlson just a little bit. It's allowing Unuckus to stay right there. He's still under half a second behind the 32 of Hunter Carlson. will grow at the disparity of lap times. Carlson now just a 10 faster.
Yeah, Bradley Young just came over the radio making his stop. So now the green flag stops are starting to come into play. And as we see Hunter Carlson passing Wayne Cannon.
Missed pit road.
Man. It's a narrow pit road.
Like Bradley Young missed pit road entry.
It's a narrow pit road. It might look that wide. Definitely.
Still on here between the 86 and the 70. When we left them to go to the lead, they looked exactly like this. They looked exactly like this, Emmett, and look at it. They're still like this. Still, Chris Golden still trying to get after the 70.
Yeah, Chris Golden, he ain't backing down, and he was really excited about this race. When I talked to him, he said, of course, he was really excited about Richmond. Felt like he had a car capable of winning, but talking to him about Dover, he was like, I know I'm going to run good at Dover. He said, I've got a car that can win Dover. So great run right here as we see Golden trying to get past him. Man, they are just stuck together for sure.
Stuck together. Now Chris Golden looked in the inside. This is the first time he's been on the inside through the entire time they've been together over about the past 15 laps. Great view here from the rear shot, looking at the hoods of these cars. Golden on the inside. They still sit side by side down the front straightaway, and Golden going to have trouble. So Berlin will get it again.
Yeah, and Golden was able to finally get him just a little loose and able to get the position, but I speak for everyone. He better watch out because Jared Berlin will come, and he'll come with vengeance for sure.
That is right. The 86, you can see he was definitely staying off the door of the 70 of Berlin. Off of turn 4 last time by. Chris Golden did it now to the inside, sweeps across over 1 and 2. So Chris Golden will finally get it over the 70 of Gerald Berlin.
Yeah, that's good for Chris because he's had great runs, just getting caught up in late race cautions. Well, now we see the 86 car coming into the pits now, and along with Wayne Cannon. So Jared Berlin's going to get the position just for a moment.
All that work just to go into the lane. And so it looks like to me, I think it might have been the 70 of Berlin that came in. Yeah. I think Golden is still out there.
Golden just came down pits, but I think you're right.
Now he just came in.
Okay. I didn't know there was
Berlin
a delay.
Came in just a lap or two ago. Now Golden is in. No, you're good. You are good. Berlin did just decide to come in after getting passed by Golden. Now Golden is in this time. The top 4 still the only drivers not to come in. Unuckus coming in this time. So now Carlson, Cansell, and Morrill, the only drivers on the lead lap yet to pit.
So now Unuckus using that strategy once again to pit early. Will it play off? Will it pay off? I mean, there's only... Oh, Kyle Dumas hard into the wall. Man. Kyle Dumas is not having a good race.
No, he is not. Gotta imagine that he's suffering from those internet connection issues. Yep, you see him popping in and out. You gotta imagine that he's got to pull it into the pit lane now. He's had all these issues with the drivers. He's gotten into the wall. You know, it's one of those things. He's on the front straightaway. Yep, down into the inside wall. Yeah, might be time to park it. Dumas, you're such a great driver, but with the internet issues, it's causing some problems. And you hate to say it, because here's the thing: we've seen Dumas do really well. We know he has talent behind that wheel, but when you have internet connection issues, no amount of talent can overcome that.
Yeah, Carlson in this time, Scott.
Cansell as well, seeing him in the 33. And I believe Devin Morrill came in as well. I believe Joshua Tressler is the only driver yet to come into the pit lane. I think he might be coming in this time. Not sure yet. Seeing some red on my screen. I'm seeing a lot of flashes of red, blue, yellow, green. Lots of different colors going on here. But Unuckus has jumped up in front of Cansale. He was always in front of Cansale, 5 seconds ahead of him. But trying to see if Unuckus will be able to get in front of Carlson through the pit strategy. Closing quickly, the gap between them.
Yeah, definitely close. Yeah. But here we go. I'm going to throw a little IndyCar in there. That was like a blend. Like in the Indy 500 where you saw him blend coming off the backstretch, that was definitely like a blend. Carlson was able to keep a good gap in front of Unuckus, so great call from Hunter Carlson for sure.
Got out, made sure that it makes me think on that first stop, Hunter Carlson had some problems getting in as well. Kyle Dumas continues to find problems on the racetrack, but you can see Hunter Carlson made a beautiful pit stop that time by to make sure that Unuckus didn't jump him in the end. You got to think, I mean, unless something happens, this could be Carlson's third win of the season.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I mean definitely looking good for Hunter Carlson. But we've seen these late races, Scott, and there's always something that happens. So we'll be optimistic for sure.
Something can always happen. Average finish for Hunter Carlson in the first 4 races, 2.8. That is insane. His average running position is a 2.9. So, wow. I mean, he's almost always running in the top 5. No matter what, and we can see a little bit more trouble. 80 laps complete this time around for Carlson. It'll be 21 laps to go.
Yeah. We'll take a look at it. Like cannon hard into the wall. Man.
29 of Cannon to get into the wall in that number 29. Was able to get around Benjamin Hallball after that contact, but Wayne Cannon running in 7th after Joshua Tressler finally gives up, leading a couple of laps and comes into the lane. And look at it, it's Gerald Berlin and Chris Golden.
Yeah, Gerald Berlin and Chris Golden back at it. Who would have thought,
Well, and Berlin got back in front of Golden. So it's a fight that we saw earlier of Golden trying lap after lap after lap to get around the 70 car. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at stuff right now, and it looks like Unuckus, he's running a little bit faster some laps than Carlson last time by. Looks like they were about even, but it looked like he was closing there just for a moment. But I think Carlson still has the overall pace.
He is catching him a little bit. Well, now now it's going back and forth. It's like a teeter-totter. Man. Yeah, a 23. Well, there it is right there. Yeah, he still got it by 0.6 of a second, 0.06 of a second with a 23.71 to a 23.77. So, yeah, look at this. Chris Golden going to shoot to the inside, Scott.
Berlin on the outside, now off of 4. Golden going to fall back just a little, but can he still keep the lead to the inside? Lap car going to pull down. Great job from Yogi Schleer to pull out of the way of that battle. Excellent job. Chris Golden not going to get the run out of 2. Still going to be back there, but he's still peaking to the inside. Ships it into 3. Tries to carry that momentum out of 4, but Berlin going to have the momentum on the high side. Yeah,
Berlin's going to have the momentum. As we see Yogi Schleer on pit road actually now. Yeah, great job by Carlson. As we see right here, he's about to put Chris Golden and Jared Berlin locked down.
Shows you how far apart this whole field is. Gerald Berlin's 15 seconds back from 3rd place Austin Hansen.
Oh, here they go! Yeah, they're side by side. They were beating and banging, and here comes Carlson. Oh my gosh!
Oh wow! You can see it all unfold right in front of you viewers.
Carlson into the wall.
Carlson snags the wall just a little bit. Not going to do him too much harm. He's 2 seconds ahead of 2nd place Unuckus. Wow. what a drive from Hunter Carlson. Him, Unuckus, and Cansville really separate themselves from everyone else. See Carlson trying to get through on the high side here. He'll be able to go around Golden time. Oh, Dumas not again. 14 laps to go.
Oh, man. This is the most exciting battle on the track right here.
Carlson will get through. He's going to try to get through, giving him a little bit of a tough time on the high side. You imagine he can't just check up for the leader really like a ton because he's got Golden right there that he's fighting. So he can't just let off the gas and let Carlson go by. He's got to somewhat stay there so he doesn't give Golden an opening.
Well, now Golden's battling with Berlin side by side. Hate to spoil it for you, but he does get around. He does get around it.
Well, and but that's the thing. It would have been so much easier for Golden to get under and if the 70 of Berlin have just let off or something like that. That's why you saw him giving Carlson a little bit of a hard time. Berlin is doing an excellent job of holding off the 86 Golden on the high side and showing you how you can use that outer groove and be able to hold off your competitor.
Well, again,
he has a problem. The minute I say that, he gets loose into three. He's gonna have the door here. The door I don't think is closed. I'm still looking. I'm lagging. We're looking. See if he got it. You might see before me. And yes, Golden will be able to slide up that time. And out of 2, he'll finally have it once again. Man, it seems like the minute I said he was doing a great job, he got loose on him.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Golden's hanging tough on that inside line. He's going to have the help from Unuckus right here. Unuckus is like, y'all gotta let me by. I'm trying to go get the leader, but they're not going to let him by, so he's going to go to the outside and try to get around these 2 cars for sure.
7 laps remaining next time across the board. But yeah, these cars continuing to battle all right in front of second place Joseph Unuckus. And again, Berlin back on the outside. It shows you what he can do. It will sweep right around the 86 of Chris Golden like it's nothing.
Yeah, now Unuckus got around both of them, so, I mean, he's still got 8 seconds. Sorry, 2 seconds. Well, it's shrinking, Scott.
Just a tiny bit. Lap by lap, somewhat. But overall, I think it has grown slightly, 2.4 seconds. Now 2.3 between first and second place, Carlson and Unuckus. 6 laps to go for Hunter Carlson. He's led every lap since lap 25.
Yeah, he's been dominating. Makes you wonder, Scott, if Unuckus wouldn't have spun the tires on the start, how big of a lead would he have jumped out to?
No, but here's the thing. I think Carlson has more overall pace. I think Unuckus could have maybe gotten the lead, but we would have seen like kind of what Austin Cansale did. He led for the first 25 laps, and eventually Carlson was able to overtake him. So I think Unuckus could have gotten a little bit more of a cushion, but I think as we've seen throughout the night, Carlson has been the overall quickest, and it has been showing all night through the entirety of the green flag run.
Yeah, definitely. The 86 and 70 are just putting on a show for these fans.
Excellent. We needed it. We needed it between these two. Everyone else, I think the farthest gap is 18 seconds, and the next closest gap besides the battle with Berlin and Golden is the battle for the lead. 2.2 seconds between them. That is the next closest battle. It shows you how spread out this field is. 4 laps remaining. Next time it'll be 3.
Yeah, 3 to go, and Berlin able to drive off for the moment, but Chris Golden, oh, he got a great run out of that turn. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
What a run he
Dumas
got.
back there? I think that was Dumas.
I don't see Dumas.
I think Dumas got into the outside wall off of 2. I think he got into the outside wall off of 2 just a little bit earlier and saw him sliding down the track. 2 laps to go for Hunter Carlson. He's got a 2.5 second advantage over second place Unuckus. Then it's Austin Cansale, Gerald Berlin, Chris Golden in the top 5. Hunter Carlson trying to bring it home.
Yeah, trying to bring her home for sure.
White flag
Bradley.
in the air. One more around the Monster Mile for the 32. He's racked up
Here he
2
goes.
wins here this season. Trying to get it all done at Five Flags Speedway in Richmond. He'll go through 3 and 4 one more time. Carlson, he's going to pick up number 3 of the season in the FWM ARCA East Series. He wins at the Monster Mile.
Yeah, and Wade Cannon just came over the speaker and said, "Big improvement, guys. Big improvement from last week." And Chris Golden and Jared Berlin coming on saying, "Great race, man." And they're just, so great to see that. But yeah,
So fun to get to see.
they're still
I know. I think they're just racing for fun now. I mean, but we saw the battle between them was thrilling here this evening.
Fantastic.
I think they finally just stopped. But it was beautiful racing between them. Cannot believe we got to see what we got to see tonight. But I mean, domination from Hunter Carlson and Eunuchus. Man, he was so close, right behind the 32. Austin Mansfield rounds out the top 3. Well, Emmett, what do we want to do? Well, let's watch the burnouts first because Carlson going to burn it down for the 2nd week in a row.
Yeah, Carlson just, man, great run.
Excellent run. 3rd win of the season. This will definitely shoot him up to the top of the championship standings, and he's trying to become the first driver here to win 2 titles in the 4Wide Motorsports iRacing League. He'll finish up top the charts at Eunuchus in 2nd, Cansdale 3rd. Gerald Berlin comes home in 4th ahead of the 86 of Chris Golden. They battled for what might have been most of the race. Devin Morill just outside of the top 5 in 6th. Wayne Cannon, after some hard contact with the wall, brings it home 7th. Joshua Tressler, your 4th car actually 1 lap down. He'll finish in 8th. Then it was Benjamin Hallbaugh, 3 laps down, and Yogi Schleer, 4 laps down in 10th.
Yeah, and 11th is where we find Daniel Jones, Bradley Young in 12th, who ran out of fuel at the end of the race. He said he barely coasted across the finish line. Kyle Dumas, who had a tough break, finishes 13th, and Chris Norris, who didn't even start the race, finishes 14th.
Chris Norris did not make the start, so unofficial for him. Well, let's go ahead and get our winner in here, Hunter Carlson. And Hunter, well, we were talking to you last week when we were at Richmond, and we're talking to you again, but I wouldn't say you got this one easier than you got it at Richmond, but I think if we compared the two, this one might have been more of a relaxing race, if a race is relaxing.
Oh yeah, it was great not to have any caution. It was great to get into a rhythm and have a little bit of a pit strategy going on there with everyone trying to try to figure out when to pit. And I had someone Joseph undercutting me, and I had to try to track him down and try to guess when to pit the second time. That was a lot of fun, but at the same time it was kind of relaxed to just run green flag laps, try to hit my marks every time, and ended up working out for me.
Emmett?
Sorry, I was laughing because I was watching the screen and the cars just went 500 miles an hour on the screen. Anyways, I was watching. I was like, "What just happened?" But talk about how much does this win mean to you, Hunter? Coming off the win last week and you go back to back. What does this mean for you?
Oh, this is huge, especially for the championship with the drop week coming into play this week, just to see where we all are, and just trying to add as many wins as I can throughout the season, and try to make it harder for harder on Landon, harder on Austin, and try to counter that. And I feel like we have even better tracks for me coming up, and I'm super excited for the rest of the season.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter, it's and after Landon not being here this evening, you will be the new championship points leader, and you could be in the hunt to become the first driver in FWM history to win 2 championships in the iRacing League.
Oh man, this would be a huge honor. I've been around a long time here, and winning these championships, whether it's NASCAR Heat 5 or iRacing, it's never easy. It's you got to grind for it, and you just you go through a lot of emotions. That's a big roller coaster throughout the season, and I've had some bad runs to start the season outside of the wins, and coming here to win back to back is huge.
Well, we definitely can understand your excitement and what it means to you. Congratulations, Hunter. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank TJ at Studio 86. Thank you for the car, buddy. Always looks good. And I want to thank Correction. I want to thank Victory Fuel for coming on all the time, and you're great. And Collision Right, thank you for coming on board, and thank you for sponsoring T2 this season. It means a whole lot. And I want to thank everyone at Fast Anger Racing Team, TJ, Brad, on and all everyone over there. And I want to thank everyone for watching. It was a fun one.
It's
Well,
definitely a
we
fun one to
appreciate
call.
getting to watch you. Congratulations, Hunter.
Thank
Third
you.
win of the season, man.
Oh yeah.
So Hunter Carlson, winner, third of the season. And we're gonna get Austin Cansdale in here next. Eunuchus, I saw him typing for a minute, but he's not in our waiting room yet. We'll see if we can get a word with him. But we'll go ahead and get third place Austin Cansdale in here. And he's pulling. It should be pulling. There we go. We got Austin in here. And Austin, man, it was a good run for you. You led well, I guess a fourth of the race. But talk to me about what happened after that, after Hunter Carlson took the lead.
He saved his tires a little bit better on that first run, and going into pit road, and I had a good run going into pit road, and I was hoping to stay on his bumper, and I got a little too close and I pretty much pulled a Larson and just went straight into the wall, and just I lost 4 seconds, and that was pretty much my race. Um it was just pretty much just cruising around, enjoying the scenery, and just hitting my marks, just having a fun time. I had the crew chief playing some music going on, and it's having a blast.
And the crew chief played some music, huh? But man, I was watching you come into the pit road and you were hauling butt in there definitely. But hey, you did. You kept it off the wall, so props to you, man.
I don't know how I did that. The crew chief said that's one less quarter panel we need to fix this week. So
Well, I thought I had seen it. I had my screen up because I couldn't be in the session this evening, and it flashed, and I was like, okay, Austin Cansdale is definitely sideways near the pit lane. I know I saw that for sure. But Austin, what do you think if you hadn't have made that mistake? Do you think you might have been in the hunt, maybe to fight for a second with Eunuchus, or maybe even to be able to fight with Carlson?
oh yeah, most definitely. On the short to middle run, I had Hunter, but at the long run, he had me a little bit longer. I know Eunuchus, he short pitted me and Hunter by at least good, I think 5 or 6 laps. And with me messing up that pit road, I kind of got 4 seconds behind in lap traffic and just got behind and, just trying to save my tires. And then coming to that second pit stop, I was going to try something different. I was going to try to shortcut everybody. Well, Eunuchus shortcutted me. I was like, well, dang. So, and then I pitted a lap later. And then next thing you know, I had my spotter telling me that Hunter's coming in a lap later after me. And I'm like, well, this race is over unless I get a caution. So I just put it in cruise control and just rode around.
Well, look, he came home with a podium, and I know that it feels good. I think after this evening, you'll be moved up into second in the points with Landon Brown missing here this evening. Do you think you can go and fight for that championship?
Yeah, I do have a couple good strong coming tracks. I know Iowa's a good track of mine. I've never even touched IRP, so that's a whole new realm for me. I've never touched it. But Iowa and of course Bristol. Bristol's my home track. I love Bristol. So hopefully these 2 out of 3 races I can either get a win or just be above Hunter in these next 2 or 3 races.
Austin Cansdale will be a threat here in the coming weeks. Austin, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
I just want to thank y'all for doing a great job. I love watching these after the race and just having a great time with the old lady. I want to thank Cannon for putting this on, and I want to thank everybody that watches this and giving us all the support for what we do. All my friends and all my family.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on third place, man.
Thank you.
Third place for Austin Cansdale, and I don't think we're going to get to talk with Unuckus here this evening. He's not up in the chat or any of our voice channels, but he's been having that swing here in the second half of the ARCA season. But Emmett, I want to hear your thoughts on a green flag race through and through.
Yeah, green flag race. Great job from these guys. Big improvement, just like Wayne Cannon came on and said. Great to see these guys. This was a fun one, Scott. This was definitely a great race, and I'm glad we got the honor of calling it for sure.
Me as well. I felt excellent, and it was awesome. Even with my screen glitching out because of my internet, I thought we did a pretty dang good job. Emmett, thanks for reading my eyes in the sky. Big thanks to everyone here at Four Wide Motorsports, Wayne Cannon, Daniel Jones, and everyone that gets everything running here on the iRacing side. Big thanks to our producer, Tracy Brown, and big thanks to my colleague in the booth, Emmett Crow. My name is Scott Shive. We'll see you next week at IRP.